Looking at this week's episode of Otome Game, I find myself being more intrigued about the future of this anime, given there's only 2 episodes left of the future of the anime so far. But still, I find myself being more intrigued than usual, and I think it's just because they're really committing to the darkness of this kidnapping. When we look at Katarina's kidnapping, right? Very cute, very clumsy, very adorable, and exactly what we would expect in a situation like that. But to have Keith being tortured, not really in a physical way, while he's still looking like he's being starved and he's chained up. It's not comfortable, but it's not physical to the point of he's being whipped and, hurt like that. It's dark magic abuse, which is far more evil and painful on the mental side. And I think they did a great job with the colors and the lighting and just the atmosphere. I mean, if psychotic had a look in the dictionary, this bitch right here would be it, right? That's the textbook example of, holy shit, she's about to cut off your toe just because she's curious what is on the inside of you, right? And even though Keith's section was like a very small portion of the overall episode of searching for Keith, I still find that to be the most compelling part. And that's why a part of me is kind of hoping that this arc has 2 more episodes left to it, because I totally expect it has 1 episode left, with the last episode being some form of epilogue, easy to go conclusion. But given how dark and mature they're actually going, I would love to see more time with Keith dealing with this type of anguish before Katarina comes. I mean, so far he's holding on because he wants to see the woman he loves, but it feels like something like that could definitely break you if he doesn't get help soon. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, right? But one thing that's interesting is that Katarina, it's hard to commit to what's happening right now. Either A, she actually has just forgotten how Giorgio feels, or 2, which is what I'm hoping's happening, is she's just oblivious to it because her mind's so focused on Keith, and Katarina being, well, she's kind of an idiot, right? Let's be honest. She's the lovable idiot. She doesn't really focus and remember too much when she's determined on one thing. I'm hoping they're not going to go the direction of completely, negating that development, because it's really impressive development, and what I want to see happen is Keith admit his feelings by the end of this arc, and hopefully over the course of what will probably happen, Season 3, more characters will slowly get their arcs in time to shine before everyone admits how they feel, and Katarina has to deal with that kind of romance baggage. I'm hoping they commit to that, and her kind of obliviousness to Giorgio's moves aren't going to be something that we're just going to forget and retcon or something like that. I really hope we don't go that direction, and I'm crossing my fingers we don't, because that has been some amazing development, and it'd be a shame if they went the direction of Giorgio is just completely swept under the rug, and Keith now admits his feelings that she can only comprehend one person, right? There's ways to make it funny and entertaining, but I'm not sure if that's what people would want to see as a whole, but I guess we'll see, right? I'm still loving every episode. I think this was one of the strongest episodes as an example of Season 2, but it does get your mind racing with, characters actively pointing out that, she doesn't remember and he's making moves, but it does feel to me from an outsider looking in that it's more of she's just so preoccupied about her family that she can't focus on anything else, so that's what I'm going to commit to for now. Though I do love it with our boy Sora coming in. He's literally hired to keep Giorgio away. And it's like he's Spider-Man waiting on the wall, so if catastrophe strikes, he's right there. So when he hugs her, he pulls her away, this and that. That's some pretty good shit. It's just kind of from their perspective, it's typical Otome game, right? Searching for him, thinking he might have ran from home. You have tons of content with the bear, who's the most, trollish character I think we've seen in this show. The fact that he is such a little bastard, isn't he? I love him, but, it's a little bit of a bastard. And how, Katarina's the only one who sees it for what it is. And the fact that, when it's sleeping, she puts these, sticky things on him, and then when she's sleeping, he does the same thing. So when they wake up, they have these, I forget what they're called as well, similar to Katarina, but I know exactly what they are, where, if you touch them, they have, these little, prickly things that can just attach yourself to skin and things like that, without making you gush blood or anything. So it's kind of funny and cute to see moments like that, as you have so many different simple, sweet moments of just if you forget and ignore the Keith content and why they're searching, it's a pretty wholesome episode, more often than not. And it's interesting because I think it was purposely done like that, because if we look, very end of the episode when the cat's finally out of the bag, it's revealed that he's been kidnapped and didn't run away from home. The visibly upset face of Katarina is vastly different than anything we've seen in this anime, especially in an episode dominated with scenes with her in it, where she was pretty carefree and clumsy, and when she was worried, she wasn't heartbroken, where in those scenes, she was visibly, like, shattered as if, what the hell do we do? And I thought that's probably why I like this episode so much, is that it kind of functions in normal Otome game fashion, and then it gets brutal, and dark, and violent, and dark magic, and how the hell do we deal with this? To then ending in almost, to me, it felt like a moment of change for Katarina's character, where she, if there was delusions, if there was obliviousness, like right now, there was a real moment of recognizing what's at stake, and that's the type of Katarina that I hope to see more of, because I think that will lead her to be more serious, more determined, and definitely, improve herself along the way. And do I think Keith's gonna die? No. Do I think Keith will be okay? Probably. And do I think Keith's gonna suffer more before then? Unfortunately, yeah. See, Otome Game Season 2 has a pretty similar formula to that of, say, Dragon Maid Season 2. Not in the way that their content is designed the same, but rather they took the essence of that first season and improved on it. And I think the biggest improvements have definitely been that the miniature stories, like, I love just the stories that they were telling a few weeks back, and how, yeah, maybe ghost hunting and things like that weren't progressing the plot, but it was really great to see the characters in situations like that. But the main story hooks, and like I mentioned, I think it was in last week's video, the fact that we've now had 2 kidnapping stories in less than 10 episodes is actually impressive that it doesn't feel the same. And I'm generally curious because I don't know if they follow this pretty much like chapter to chapter. I'd love to know if someone could let me know. If this isn't done in chronological order, I love the change. But if it is done in chronological order, I definitely think the author and the studio purposely like the idea of baiting you in with a kidnapping plotline that immediately doesn't go bad. So your guard is, at first, because I remember most people agreed, holy shit, she's kidnapped, cliffhanger, can't wait to see next week. Immediately, the Sora content was just wholesome and amazing. So it immediately makes your guard drop from a kidnapping plotline being, okay, we gotta stop this, to, it's a kidnapping plotline, nothing's gonna happen. So seeing Keith in torture scenes really is a sucker punch and a knockout KO without even having a chance to get back up. And that's really, really interesting. And that's why, even as small as a percentage as it is, I could see them committing to something very, very bad, even if I'm 99.999% sure that Keith will come home and his love won't be removed. But when dark magic's at play, memory manipulation, memory erasing, that's always on top of my mind. That has me worried. Great episode, though, I have to say. Very excited for the last couple and to see where we wrap up with Season 2, and hopefully get that confirmation for Season 3. Leave a like if you enjoyed, let me know what you're feeling down below, and of course subscribe if you're new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.